So, I just got done watching the movie Made in Abyss Dawn of the Deep Soul, and honestly, it was one of my favorite movies of all time. For some context, recently I made a video explaining why Made in Abyss Season 1 is one of my favorite seasons of any show ever, and it did really well and got loads of support, which I'm super thankful for. But this might even be better than Season 1, so let's get into that, shall we? Right off the bat, the movie focuses on Nanachi, and if you saw the last video, you know that Nanachi is the best fictional character ever conceived in media, and that is a fact. Seeing them get more spotlight was just amazing, because they are, yeah, like I said, one of my favorite characters ever, if not my favorite character, but whatever. But the two other main characters, Rico and Reg, are still so amazing, if not better. They just work so well off each other, I could watch it for literally ever. They've all got such great and fantastic character moments, each and every one of them. It's just great. We also get introduced to two new focused on characters, Prushka and Bondrewd. Let's get into them. First, let's talk about Bondrewd, who is the main villain here, and oh my gosh, he's one of my favorite villains ever. And I know I keep saying, this is one of my favorite things ever, this is one of my favorite things ever, but it's just so good. His voice was menacing, his design was brilliant. It was menacing, but it also just looked so cool. And so does Lackeys, but they're just kind of different shapes. I was loving every single scene we had of him, until we get to the flashbacks where we find out that he's been making children and turning them into flesh briefcases, but we'll get into that later, shall we? Next, in the review for Season 1 of Made in Abyss, I said that the animation was movie-worthy, but this... oh my god. This is on a whole nother level. The fight scenes here are absolute eye candy. I could watch it forever, I actually could. And every little thing, the landscape's beautiful, the characters move so well. It's just so good. Anyways, I've been gushing a bit too long, so let's actually get into the plot. So it follows Rico, Reg, and Nanachi going to the next layer of the Abyss to continue their descent to the bottom to find supposedly Rico's mother, but who knows at this point. Now this layer is especially interesting because it is where Nanachi lost her humanity as well as Midi, and it was all at the hands of Bondrewd, and you can see where the conflict goes there. The character moments between Bondrewd and Nanachi were honestly my favorite part of the movie. It was so good. The whole movie's free on YouTube. Please just watch it right now. Anyways, let's move on to the next main focused on character that's new, Prushka. They refer to Bondrewd as Papa and is basically just her daughter, but we find out that she's manufactured and is like one of many failed experiments, but like I said, we'll get into that later. Her character just fit so well with Rico, Reg, and Nanachi. She just felt like she was part of the team, honestly, and it was kind of a shame to see her turn into a flesh briefcase. So, speaking of flesh briefcases, let's talk about the quote-unquote shocking moments of Dawn of the Deep Soul, which is what everyone watches these for, or so Letterboxd says, I guess. So yeah, we've got Prushka and all the other failed daughters of Bondrewds turned into flesh briefcases. That was insane to watch, especially right after we get a flashback showing Prushka's entire life. It was just insane. We've also got Reg being, poked and prodded at in a lab by Bondrewd's henchmen or so. That part, it might have gone slightly too far, but whatever, it did not hinder my enjoyment of this at all. Anyway, let's move on to this and get on to the fight scenes because oh my god, this was cinema. The fight scenes here are just perfect. They are perfect. They are beautifully animated. Some of the best animation I've ever seen in my life for an anime. And, like, it's just insane how good they are. You need to watch them. That scene where Bondrewd's entire crew gets viciously mauled by that beautiful creature in the snow, that was so peak. And seeing Bondrewd respawn after every time he's brutally murdered was insane. Also, the cinematography at the end, where he's standing next to the light of the abyss, that's my wallpaper now. Literally everything in this movie is perfect, even right from the opening scene where we've got that beautiful sequence of one of Bondrewd's lackeys or something burning down that field of flowers. The field of flowers itself looked amazing because of the beautiful landscape animation, but seeing it burn down, oh my god, the eye candy is real. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Dawn of the Deep Soul. Like I said, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely in at least the top 3, which, before watching any Made in Abyss related stuff, is insane to think about. I didn't even know the show existed a couple weeks ago, but here we are, and I'm so glad I found it. I feel like this entire show was made just for me. It aligns with all my interests, but I know so many people are loving the show, like the people who commented on my last video. Thank you again. Anyways, y'all have been hyping up season 2, so I need to watch that, right now. But anyways, thank you so much for watching and the support on the last video. I doubt this will do as well, but I don't even care. At least, one person will watch it, right? Right? Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I loved this movie. Nanachi is peak fiction, and so is Bondrewd. He's my father. Bye.